Hello and welcome back to Crypto. My God damn, we're back to nearly breaking $100,000 again, and that is worthy of an oh my God. Now, today I'm pretty pumped about the market. Obviously, everybody is. I've talked a little bit about why I think that's happening, so I'm going to move on into what I want to start kicking off with Wednesdays in my time, which is app reviews. I don't see too many people using on-chain apps, and I want to drag you guys, whether I need to do it with force or by willful choice, into this world of apps. Today I'm going to start with the Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult. All right, guys. So what's really fun about this, in 2021, this was an NFT project, 10,000 PFP thing of little 8-bit wizards. Let's hop into it and just take a little gander at this real quick, since visual aids are always fun. Now, they released all these guys. You can see they've got some like weapons, some features. These ones all have familiars, cute little cat, big old nose, freaky little eyeball, and these were pretty collectible. Now, they did a really good job over time incentivizing holders of this. Obviously, NFTs have been up and down. Now, the core concept of this was to use decentralization, was to use internet lore, and to be able to build a world around these NFTs, these wizards, these cults, that could grow, that could thrive, that could become all sorts of things. Just in the same way Lord of the Rings has done it with Middle-earth, right? What we're looking at is we want to see stories, we want to see games, we want to see the whole shebang. And the application today is actually a game. So that's where they're coming at now, in full format. But you can see these things, they're listed. I mean, they're still not the cheapest NFTs in the world at half an ETH at the floor, but I do think they're pretty amazing, and they will become playable characters in the game. Now, let's look at some of the lore, right? This is rich. ForgottenRunes.com/lore takes you into the book. You can look at all sorts of things. We've got character, recent lore, lore with images, ranks, right? Contributions are just manifold here. If you want to dive in, you can learn a little bit more. Oh man, all sorts of really cool animations and whatnot, information around the different NFTs, yada, yada, yada. Recent lore is some of this cool stuff that's been being generated. They've been offering gift packs with like collectibles. It's really, really fun. Now, what I want to look at today is specifically the game itself, which is called the Forgotten Runiverse. Pretty clear as to where that comes from. This is launched on the Ronin blockchain. For those who remember, Axie Infinity is one of those early NFT projects that pivoted into a full-blown game. Axie is very much a battle-style game, just kind of like Pokemon-ish. Really fun, and they launched a while back and realized that they could not facilitate what they wanted to do without building their own chain. So anyway, you've got Ronin, which is the chain for Axie Infinity, and for people that are trying to build games on top of this chain. Enter the Runiverse, right? They're doing a very fun play right now, which is something I want to focus on. It's called Crash the Runiverse. This is a beta test this week. It launched yesterday. It's going to go until Friday. They're looking to load their servers so that they can do load testing, and so that they can make sure that when they do roll out the game, it's ready to rock. It doesn't, crash and suck. And they want all of us to get in there and test it. They are incentivizing this with the 21 trillion Quanta airdrop. It's almost time to re-enter the Forgotten Runiverse. Now, this Quanta airdrop is called XP for anyone looking at it. Earn XP, and what they are really looking for you in order to get that XP, again, that Quanta airdrop is to buy mana, to trade mana, to earn mana in the game. Mana is an asset inside the game, and anybody that's attaching a wallet to this and earning through that process is able to get the airdrop. So this is going to be farming, and this is going to be fun, is basically the two reasons I recommend it. Now, yesterday I fired up CryptOMG. Unfortunately, the game did get me stuck. This is part of the bugs and the issues in a server test. I actually got to a point where they gave me an action item that I could not complete, so I had to get around it by firing up a new one, Shenanigans, and entering in there. Now, the first bit of the game goes through a ton of tutorials, basically the how-tos. There's a lot of information to absorb. There's a lot of different ways to manifest spells, magic, weapons, all these cool things, as well as developing your character and going through the basics. That is something that I think everybody should, lean into. It takes probably around 15 minutes totally to get through it and really understand what you're doing. From there, it saves. It's all in the web browser. It's very easy to update, and we can just hop right back into the game. So One of the things I like, browser-based, very convenient to operate. I really wanted to do was actually hop into my character, looking at Shenanigans the Wizard. Now, these are going to be NFTs when the game launches fully. If you have one, you can load it in. Obviously, all sorts of benefits and features there. And of course, making a couple different attempts at the weapons and the magic. Now, one thing that is important to note, during this test, they will automatically ascend you to level 20. They will give you a lot of resources to test out all of these different spells. So definitely give it a couple tries. My first attempt, I kind of picked at random, and honestly, I was just terrible at battle. And then, of course, we get some really cool armor. The Slayer's Scythe, like, let's say if I wanted to go in here, change equipment. I'm not really sure what I have, but let's give it a look real quick. All right, so I'm in Slayer mode, and you can see it from this badass gear that I have here, looking like a sort of skeleton inside of a samurai outfit. And around me are tons of other players. Now, one thing that is really important, this game does lend itself to multiplayer. I've been having a really hard time trying to go out on my own. If you want to get in the chat, you can sort of connect with people and figure out what's going on here. Let me just type it in. Yo, 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 what's up, fam? I'm in there, great. If I do want to come over here to the right, I can look at some of these players, especially nearby, right, who's actually in the kind of same area to do the quest with me. And of course, you can invite them and build the party. So that's something you're probably going to want to look at. It's a little too time intensive for me right now, so I'm just going to get right into it. Come in here and hit the quest right out of the gate. This is the Windmill of the Wild. What's really neat in the stress test, if you do get good at it, you can add lots of things to complicate it to make it more difficult, and those will all just add to the kind of mana that you collect. So if you do put in some time and you grind a little bit here, you're going to expose yourself to a larger position in the airdrop. And here's battle number 1. Now, as you can see, it's a time-based battle system, very familiar to a lot of people that play RPGs. I took the first hit at 500. I'm not dealing that much damage. So let's go ahead and do a little offense in the beginning, and I'm going to fire off my healing because one thing you'll notice, the number 4, it's now going to take 4 turns to return. So let me just keep hammering this dude. I think the best defense here is going to be a strong offense. Of course, I've got some fun randomizer here, this wheel of chaos that sets me to a randomized kind of damage and healing. And boom. All right. Well, that's a victory for me. So as I continue on, I can begin to explore. We'll get a little bit more of a storyline. And you can see these graphics are basically on par with Super Nintendo, which I think is pretty fun. Now over here, we can capture some resources. Let's see, the pool has an air of magic, blah, blah, blah. Let's collect some in a bottle. Hell yeah. Well, now that I've spent some time with it, I actually played the game all last night and a couple hours today. I'm ready to put some stars to the board and slam down my review. I'm going to put this review into 4 categories with 3 stars each. That means 12 stars total, looking at utility, friction, cost, and joy. I'm looking to bang these out. That's 12 stars total, and let's see what I can do for Forgotten Runes. Crash the Runiverse. So for utility, it's a game, right? It's a fun game. This is adding utility on top of an NFT. I got to give it 3 stars straight out of the gate. Like, this is pretty cool. We're seeing the idea move from 10,000 collectible JPEGs to actual characters in a game that you can build and grow and move on over time, and then hopefully sell those things to somebody else who wants to skip ahead. That is high utility. 3 stars, baby. 3 stars. As for friction, I'm going to give it some leeway here. I played a couple times. I had to remake a character. Even in my demo, I got to a point where the server disconnected and a lot of the engagements, the actions were unable to be accomplished. However, this is the second time I've played their beta. There are big changes coming through, and if they can iron them out for the main release, then I'm going to give them some positive takes. Therefore, 2 stars. I give them 2 stars. Excellent. And for cost, well, cost is pretty straightforward. This isn't a DeFi app. I didn't have to get onto any new chains. Connecting to the Ronin network was very easy. It was 1 click. That's 3 stars straight up just because it was convenient. And quite frankly, if we're mining mana, we're getting paid to do this work. So that is good on the cost. And then last but not least, joy. I think this game is not only novel and interesting in creating new products in the crypto landscape, it is actually fun. I want to play this thing when it launches. I want to grow my NFT buddies, and I want to, spend hours on this, just having a good time. So that's 3 stars for joy. That brings me to my first review being 11 out of 12. Clearly, I am a very uptight reviewer. I think these will be a little bit more aggressive towards other on-chain apps like wallets or social networks. But for all intents and purposes, it's one of the first games I played that's really got an on-chain element that allows your NFT to grow. And this is really, really cool. So get in there, guys. Try the Forgotten Runes, crash the Runiverse, mine those mana, engage with it, see if you can get part of that Qantas airdrop, and tune in for more content. Give me a subscribe if you can, and as always, good luck.